So we want to start with some easy questions, more easy questions. When and where have you been born?
I was born in Budapest, Hungary, June 14th, 1940.
Okay. And can you tell us the names of your parents?
My father was Mary, and my mother was Ernestina Mary. In Hungary, my name was János, and when we came to the United States, it became John.
Can you tell us a bit more about the Jewish community in Hungary before World War II?
The Jewish community in Hungary, first of all, religious-wise, there were two communities, the Orthodox and the non-Orthodox called the Neolog. In general, the Jewish community in Hungary was a very assimilated community. We felt ourselves to be totally Hungarian. Most Jews had changed their names to Hungarian-sounding names, including our name, which ancestrally was Marmorstein, but when my grandfather came from Upper Hungary to Budapest, he was told, if you want to teach in the capital city of Hungary, you must have a Hungarian-sounding name, and that's how we became Morrey.
So what happened then when German occupation started, and with which names it is going?
The German occupation in Hungary began on Sunday, March 19th, 1944. The Wehrmacht came in. However, the government of Hungary still continued its structure. The following days came in Adolf Eichmann, who was in charge of the Jewish department, and he started his work. There were very few German SS in Hungary. Maybe there were 300 in all of Hungary. The Holocaust in Hungary was done completely by the Hungarian gendarmerie, which was incorporated to do for one purpose only, and that was the so-called Jewish question. The situation was in three stages. The first part was the Yellow Star, the second part was ghettoization, and the third part was deportation. There were 6 zones, starting in northeast Hungary, going all the way around, and the last zone was to be Budapest.
So you and your family have been in the last zone in Budapest?
That is correct. We were in the last zone, and the Jews of Budapest in total survived much, much better than the Jews in the provinces. The entire provincial Jewry in Hungary was deported between May 15th, 1944 to July 7th, 1944, in a total of 54 days, almost 450,000 Jews from provincial Hungary were deported.
So do you have any memory to that arrival or that time in Bergen-Belsen?
Yes, I do have memories of Bergen-Belsen. Particularly, I was sick a lot, And one of the main occupations in Bergen-Belsen was the appel, the roll call. And I stayed in my bunk because I was sick most of the time, and I remember the German soldier coming in and counting me as he was doing the roll call twice a day. I also remember falling into the barbed wire. And most of all, I do remember leaving Bergen-Belsen in December of 1944.
You arrived in Switzerland, and so how was this arrival, and what do you remember from that time?
We arrived in Switzerland, Hanukkah, 1944. It turns out that this was the largest successful Jewish-sponsored rescue in the Holocaust. And we have to thank the ability of Dr. Kastner. When we left Hungary, we were debating whether we should join this train or not, but my uncle, who was the Zionist, said, if we stay in Budapest, we will perish 100%. If we go on the train, we will perish 90%. And it's true, a lot of things had to work out just right, including not being sent. The train could have easily been sent to Auschwitz. There was nobody you could complain to. And we have to remember that this is December 1944, and bombs were falling all over Germany, and we easily could have been bombed. So my parents decided to come to the United States because my uncle, at that time, to go to the United States, you had to have an affidavit. Somebody had to vouch that you would not become a burden on the society, and my uncle gave the affidavit. So we were one of the first refugees to arrive in the United States in April 1946. We came to the United States on a Liberty ship that was carrying back supplies from Europe. There were about 20 passengers. It was also Passover, and there were a lot of rough seas. But after 17 days, we arrived not in New York City, but in Baltimore, and my two uncles were waiting for us there.
It's good when family waits for you after such tragedy.